Yeah, so nature always works. We can complain all along about how much we're working, but nature is working 24 hours. So.
True, true, true. I think let's start now. It's 6. Okay, I'm sure
Yeah.
people will join it as and when. So to start with, we'd like to know who you are. Like, tell us a little about yourself. When did you start composting? How has your journey been? So, we understand a bit about you before we start the process.
Okay, so by profession, I am a designer, and on the side, I write. But for the purposes of this video, I am more a nature lover and a sustainability freak. So
Okay.
I got into composting around 2 years ago. I've been wanting to do it for much longer, but there were a lot of mental blocks. And sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. So there were a lot of mental blocks, and there were a lot of misconceptions in my mind as to what you require to do composting, which I'm assuming a lot of people who are tuning in would also have. So over the
Okay.
past 2 years, I've learned a lot along the way and understood what composting is better. So hopefully today I'll be able to share some of that what I've learned, some of that which I've learned, and you can also start doing composting at home. One thing is it is an extremely rewarding and very therapeutic and rewarding process. It's something that actually makes me feel really good about myself. I don't know what it is about composting, but I
Mm-hmm.
really hope that today, when you all start taking up composting, you're going to experience the same joy that I have had with composting.
Okay. Okay, that's great. Okay, so since we are going to do it at home and anyway we can't get out for we don't know how long, like properly.
Mm.
So we'd be doing it with the materials that are available at home. Could you like shed some light on
Yes.
that what all is required and everything?
Yeah. So before we get into the materials, I actually want to talk
Okay,
about what compost is, because then
sure.
that will help me explain what materials are required,
Perfect.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you can think of compost as a living, breathing creature, right? Compost is something
Okay.
that is alive, right? And
Mm-hmm.
what it contains is, and if you can just look at the whiteboard for a sec, I'll just draw out what the compost looks
Yeah.
like, right? Compost has carbon, it has hydrogen, it's
Mm-hmm.
got oxygen, and
Mm-hmm.
it's got nitrogen, right? So this is our
Mm-hmm.
guy, this is our compost, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
these are the building blocks of what goes into a compost. We get
Right.
these building blocks through the materials that I will show you just now. So
Okay.
to show you what the finished compost looks like, so this is the end result that we're going for, right? So this is the
Okay.
finished compost. And the
Okay.
materials that went into making this are
Mm-hmm.
your kitchen waste. So this is your, so I've just segregated the waste here. So you know what I ate today.
Okay.
And you need a container in which to compost. And
Okay.
you need something that is brown in color, right? So I've got leaves over here. You can use
Mm-hmm.
soil. You can use
Okay.
coco peat. You
Okay.
can use stuff like brown
Mm-hmm.
paper, right? Grocery
Mm-hmm.
bags, and even cardboard, right? Just make sure it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have any of this plasticky stuff here. As long as
Okay.
it doesn't have any print on it. So because we're all ordering out on Amazon a lot or wherever, so
Mm-hmm.
we may have a lot of these cartons lying with us. Just make sure it doesn't have print on it. If it has print, just scrape off the printed area, and it doesn't have any tape on it, so you can just peel that off and
Okay.
use it. So even stuff like
Okay.
anything that is brown in color. And why do we say it's brown? Is we refer back to this guy over here, right? So the kitchen waste that we have typically is
Okay.
considered as green material, okay, which is high in
Right.
nitrogen, right? And it has
Uh-huh.
moisture. So you've got H2O, water content is there.
Yeah.
To complete this guy and make this guy complete, we need to add carbon into it, because if this ratio is not correct and if this is not in balance, this guy is going to have only one arm, the other arm is going to be missing, right?
Interesting.
So this carbon is what is found in mostly brown stuff. So, so if we say your kitchen waste,
Mm-hmm.
this is your kitchen waste
Okay.
that covers this entire area, and then and this
Okay.
is what we call as green material.
Okay.
Okay, and this is what we need to add, which is your brown material, which is basically
Okay.
carbon. So this is found in stuff that looks mostly brown. And the
Okay.
reason why we need this is in nature when things start decomposing. So when you add uh, organic materials inside your
Right.
compost,
Right.
things start disintegrating, right? And it leaves a lot of water. So if if you've segregated your waste, you notice it is very moist and it starts leaving water and starts smelling a bit. That
Okay.
smell is coming because of nitrogen, and that water is because of your H2O. In order to
Okay.
ensure that this water is absorbed and this doesn't smell, we add your brown material, which is carbon. So that's why you'll
Okay.
notice the materials that we talked about, soil, brown paper or cardboard, right? These are all things that absorb water. Look at the materials again. Now that we have a background
Okay.
for this, so the materials are your waste, right?
Okay.
If you notice, I have just covered this because it tends to attract a lot of fruit flies, and I don't want fruit flies inside my house right now.
Okay.
So I've just covered this in
Okay.
a cloth, right? With a normal
Okay.
cloth. I have got my brown material here, right?
Okay.
And the next part is the container, right? So if
All
you
right.
see that these containers where I've got my compost are terracotta. This is actually called a kamba. This is a proper composter which I got from Daily Dump.
Okay.
Daily Dump is an NGO that's based. Daily Dump is an NGO that's based out of Bangalore, and they do have partners across India. Right now, I think they are offering contactless delivery as well. And
Okay.
I got mine from their North India partner, which is Green Karma. Right? So if you notice that this composter is basically terracotta, and it has a lot of small holes on the side. It's actually got a much larger opening at the bottom as well, but it's got a lot
Okay.
of holes in it. So ideally,
Okay.
your composter should be a terracotta uh, clay-based thing. In case you don't have access to a composter like this, you can make one very easily using any normal flower pot, right? Things that you grow plants in. They already have a hole at the bottom, and very carefully you can make small holes on the side. Okay?
Okay.
And in case that's not available, you can use any plastic stuff. So plastic container. So this is say a paint can. Maybe you got a leaky bucket that you can't use anymore. Maybe you got a water can that like a mud clear or something that you're not using. And just make sure, especially if you're using plastic, that there are a lot of holes for drainage. Like we said, that this leaves a
Okay.
lot of water. Uh, your terracotta tends to absorb moisture better. This one doesn't absorb moisture, right? And it needs to breathe, right? So if we
Okay.
refer back to our guy here, so our guy is basically, if you just draw this diagram, so so we've got our building blocks available here, okay?
Right.
Now, to maintain your compost, you need
Right.
to ensure this guy has three things: food, water, and air. So, like I said,
Okay.
your compost is a living, breathing creature just like you and me. Just like you and me has got these elements, and it needs these three things to survive. So, food we are providing through our kitchen waste. Water is
Yeah.
already there in your food. This is the most important thing as far as composting is concerned. So because
Okay.
you'll notice this guy's head is oxygen, right?
Right.
So this as a thought experiment, what we're going to do is we're going to just um, put some plastic on top of this guy, and we will just suffocate this guy for a little bit. Okay. So now, if we were composting without any holes in our container, if we were doing it in a plastic container, what would happen was, while decomposing, these
Mm-hmm.
two are going to react and create methane. I hope I've got the right
Right.
formula for this. Right?
Yeah.
This is 20 times more harmful for the environment than carbon dioxide. This is the reason why
Okay.
we get global warming, is because in the absence of oxygen, when carbon and hydrogen react, right? This is what
Yeah.
happens in landfills, and that's why landfills are very inflammable and they catch fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that's going to happen is your hydrogen and nitrogen are going to combine, and you're going to get ammonia,
Mm-hmm.
which, if you are familiar with your school chemistry labs, this will be a smell that is familiar to you. So when somebody says that the compost smells, that's because there's not much oxygen, and
Mm-hmm.
this is being created. Now, apart
Yeah.
from these four things, our food also has other nutrients in it. So you've got, say, sulfur,
Mm-hmm.
potassium, phosphorus, whatever, right?
Yeah.
This hydrogen also reacts with sulfur, creating something very dangerous called
Mm-hmm.
hydrogen sulfide.
Yeah.
This is not only not good for your compost, it smells really bad. It smells like rotten eggs, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why trash smells really bad. But it's also
Yeah.
toxic to humans. So if you're not segregating waste at home, you are potentially creating, and if your trash is smelling, it's actually dangerous for you, right? So that is why oxygen is very important for the compost.
Okay.
So we've covered
Okay.
these basics. So now
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to just show you how to actually start composting, right? So if
Okay. Oh,
whenever you start composting, just make sure you got a lot of holes. I've already got my composter here, so I'm not creating holes in
okay.
this. I also need to use this bucket
Okay. Okay.
properly.
So before you proceed,
So
I'll just let you know the two questions I had, like in regarding the material
yeah,
and everything only that you had asked, mentioned. So like there was a question which said, how do we know that what soil is good or bad? As you said, we'll be if we have access
doesn't
to
matter.
soil, so we can
It
use the
doesn't
any
matter.
soil. Okay, like the
Any
ones which
soil.
already probably in our building also, that's also something that can be
Yeah,
used where the
any
plants.
soil. See, it's
Okay.
nature. Nature, it doesn't work with such set formulas, right?
Okay.
It just needs to have a
Mm-hmm.
balance. And when you're composting, the more you compost, the more you'll get a feel of things. So these are things that when you
Okay.
actually start doing, you get a feel for these things. So any soil is good. Soil is actually the best, whatever soil you have available, because it's also got microbes that will help digest the compost much faster.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
And the other one was you said paper or cardboard would be there. So there was a question, won't it take time to degrade?
What would take time to degrade the paper?
Paper or cardboard? Yeah.
It depends actually, because paper is
Mm-hmm.
something that is not completely organic. It is made out of wood pulp, and again, you have to be very careful with the paper that you're putting in. It should not
Okay.
be coated. It should not be those glossy magazine papers, which
Mm-hmm.
is why I said that you use something like this. So this degrades very fast, right? I've
Okay.
actually used this. If you can see here in my composter, I'm using it to cover my composter here. And when I
Right.
open it, I'll show you that it actually starts disintegrating, and kind of starts disappearing. So that is
Okay.
usually an issue with paper.
Okay. 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 Great. Okay. These were the two questions. Now you can walk us through the process,
Yeah,
and we'll follow.
yeah. So you just take your container, you take
Yeah.
your carbon, your brown material, right? So I've got these dry ingredients with me. So let me just
Okay.
get a small belt with this guy here.
Mm-hmm.
Because our organic material is going to leave a lot of water, right? So we want, and that water will, gravity will pull that water down. So you want
Mm-hmm.
something that will absorb the water down below. So maybe you can just shred your paper and put it in here, right? Shred your
Okay.
cardboard, whatever you are putting to absorb
Okay.
your. Then you take your green material, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this is technically actually brown material, and then I just
Okay.
put these things here. This here is cocoa peat. right? So
Okay.
what I have done
Okay.
is I've actually, when I segregate my waste, I actually keep uh, bin with cocoa peat in it, so that when I'm
Okay.
putting it, I don't have to fish around for where my dry brown material is. I'm just
Okay.
covering it with.
Okay.
Make sure you're covering it nicely, so that
Mm-hmm.
fruit flies don't come on top, right?
Okay.
And that's it. That literally took us, I think, 2-3 minutes to
Okay.
cover our compost. So this is all you need to
Hmm.
do on a daily basis. Just
Okay.
ensure you're alternating your layers between brown and green, right? Then when you are maintaining your compost, every few days you just need to check your compost. So I will
Mm-hmm.
just show you some compost here. So this is very fresh compost, which actually includes stuff that I have put
Okay.
in just this
Can you
morning.
can you speak a
As you
little
can see,
louder, please? Sorry.
yeah,
Now your
yeah,
voice
so,
is cracking.
yeah. So as you can see, this is newspaper that I was using to cover the compost
Mm-hmm.
pile, and it
Mm-hmm.
is already degraded quite a bit, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So this is a very fresh waste that has gone in. And if you can just zoom
Mm-hmm.
in and look at it very close, you'll see a lot of tiny insects in here. These are my
Okay.
unpaid employees who are
Okay.
sitting and degrading my compost, right?
Yeah.
And I will
Right.
just this waste, this compost pile is 7 weeks old, right?
Okay. All right.
So for the entire duration of our lockdown, all the waste that
Mm-hmm.
has been generated in our house is in this one pile. So as and when
Okay.
the compost starts forming, the pile actually starts reducing. So I'll just turn it a
Okay.
little bit to show you what's
Mm-hmm.
underneath. So if you can just see here, this is very fresh waste that is being composted. So it's a mixture of
Okay.
stuff that I've put in just now, lots of little
Mm-hmm.
insects in here, and then
Mm-hmm.
underneath is stuff that we ate in the past that I can no longer recognize, right?
Okay. Okay.
So this is what happens inside a composter. So you have to make sure that you are checking uh, the compost for moisture, right? So this one
Okay.
right now is slightly damp, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want it getting very wet. So the question that came earlier about maggots, yes, this one does get, my composter also gets maggots during monsoons. Initially, it used to
Mm-hmm.
creep me out really badly, but maggots are good
Mm-hmm.
because they can actually chomp down your compost very fast. If you're
Mm-hmm.
doing this, you have access to a garden, you can actually, you don't need this container, you can actually dig a hole in the ground, and then earthworms will
Okay.
come and compost it, which is basically
Mm-hmm.
vermicompost. So if you've ever
Okay.
gone to a nursery and bought vermicompost, you know it's really expensive. So these guys will
Mm-hmm.
do it to your trash for free, and you get
Okay.
vermicompost at home,
Okay.
right? So again, if we look at our equation here of a balance between carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, the water component, if it gets too much, that's when
Mm-hmm.
it starts smelling, and that's when also if you have slightly higher moisture content, maggots will start coming in. So to
Okay.
soak in more moisture, you add your carbon. So just increase the amount of cocoa peat or soil that you're adding in,
Okay.
and your compost thing will be solved. The other thing you can do, which I sometimes do, is if there are too many insects, because this one does sometimes
Mm.
also get a little difficult to manage because I get spiders and stuff. These are actually neem leaves that I've got. Neem is your
Mm-hmm.
natural kind of disinfectant. So I
Yeah.
actually, and these are also dried, so I just put this in there, so it kind of controls the population. This is an ecosystem in itself, right? So it
Yeah.
controls the population. So there is a food
Agree. Yeah.
chain that's forming here. There is your food which is being eaten by tiny insects, and then there will be slightly
Mm-hmm.
larger insects, and then there will be worms that will coming in. That will be coming in. So this is
Yeah.
you are the master of this universe, right?
Right.
So this is 7 weeks old now, right? It is still
Mm-hmm.
in the process of getting composted. I know it is 7 weeks old because I harvested my previous batch on the 21st of March, which was the day of the Janata curfew, right? So we are exactly 7 weeks from
Yeah.
that day, and this is all of the waste that has been generated in our house is actually inside here. As you can see, there's still some space to
Okay.
put a floor, so it will probably go another one week because things will start reducing, right? Um, so once you get to a point where it starts, so if you can see here, some of this is already done, right?
Once you get to a point, sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, so once you get to a point where it looks slightly done here, so for instance in the bottom, okay, the other thing is that when you touch it, it's kind of warm, which is a good thing. That's
Okay,
because there's a lot of activity that's going on inside here. So
okay,
that
okay,
generates heat. So if it's warm, don't worry about it. Okay. So
okay.
once it gets to this point, we can,
Mm-hmm.
or for instance, if it's filling up, what you can do is
Mm-hmm.
you can actually harvest some of it, right? And that's what I'm going to show you now. So this is possibly after about a month or so, if you're after you're doing your compost, maybe depends. You will take a few weeks. You will get something like this. So this is half done compost, right?
Okay,
It's not
okay,
completely done, right? But it's
right.
got these chunks. This is
Okay.
actually a remnant of a tender coconut that I put in
Mm-hmm.
uh, 2 years ago. So this guy has been in my
Okay.
composter for 2 years. This used to be
Mm-hmm.
a really hard shell, and I actually have another one here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if I'm able to open this up. So I think that's the video that you put up on your story where this actually
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I could rip it apart with my bare arms. So
Okay.
you can put anything that's natural and that would be great. So
Mm-hmm.
I put 2 3 coconuts in here. One coconut has already uh, become uh, almost negligible here.
Okay.
So what you do
Okay.
is you use, so this will probably take you another say 6 weeks to get to this stage, right? 6 or 7
Okay.
weeks after you've been doing
Just
your
one
composting.
second, Kasturika. The people who've joined in late, we will be just doing a summary of it again, like the material required and everything towards the end. Right now, just see the process, and we'll get back to a bit of the material requirement and everything again towards the end of the session, just so that the ones who've joined in late, you guys can follow it properly. Yeah. Sorry. Continue.
Okay, so once you get to a point where it is about 6 7 weeks in, and as you'll see, this is
Yes.
slightly damp,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Yeah.
this wasn't so damp a few days back. So while we were preparing for this, I actually opened it, and it was quite
Mm-hmm.
dry, right?
Okay.
So we need to check for moisture. So if it dries out, then it's not going to
Mm-hmm.
decompose too much or too well. So in that case, you
Okay.
actually add water into it. You
Mm-hmm.
can also put in accelerators or microbes. These are
Mm-hmm.
usually available in a nursery. Or you can even put curd,
Okay.
right? So curd or
Okay.
buttermilk have a lot of these fermentation qualities in them. So you can
Okay.
add them in just maybe a spoon or two, and then that will sort of restart your composting process if it gets too dry. Okay.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I will just take some of this, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I have here a normal basket, right? So you can use any basket. So we were actually using this for storing onions earlier. Then we decided to use it for compost. So it's basically something which has a lot of holes in it. It's like a sieve, right? So I will just
Okay.
put this in here and
Mm-hmm.
and this is your almost
Oh.
finished compost.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Right? Now,
Right.
I think somebody had asked in the beginning how long does it take for compost
Yeah.
to get done. So
Right.
this file that was here that I showed you a little bit back is very fresh. It is 7 weeks old. This one is older than that, right? This is some of this. It all depends on what materials you're putting in. Like I said, this guy has been in here for 2 years, right? So this
Okay.
is not going to go into my finished file. This will go back into my pile of fresh compost, and then the cycle will repeat, right?
Okay.
So this is now available, and I will just mix it up with my finished compost here. So if you'll see,
Got
there
it.
is a slight difference here. This is the
Right,
older
right.
one, and this is the slightly fresh one, right?
Yeah.
And this guy was
Mm-hmm.
harvested, so as you can see, slightly damp underneath. The outer layer is a little dry, and the inner layer is still a
Mm-hmm.
little damp, right? So
Okay.
this guy was
Okay.
harvested on the 21st of March. So this has already been
Mm.
sitting and maturing for
Okay.
7 weeks now, right? So
Okay.
the thing that
Okay.
you need to be
Your
very
voice
careful
is
about.
cracking in between. That's what I'm getting the comment. So can we like just say the last bit again so that we, yeah.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
it really depends on what materials you put inside your compost because everything has a
Right.
different rate of decomposing. So this coconut has
Okay.
been in there for 2 years. I have had lychee seeds that have been there for 2 years. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Mango seeds take much lesser. Banana decomposes within days, right? Banana peel.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
this was harvested on the 21st of March, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this
Mm-hmm.
is now slightly dried out. It's become dry and powdery to the touch.
Okay.
But if you see
Okay.
this is still slightly damp. It is still chunky, right? You may want to
Yeah.
just rub it between your fingers to sort of powder it up, right? And this
Mm-hmm.
is more fresh as compared to this. Now, if
Okay.
we look back to a fresh pile of compost here,
Mm-hmm.
you see there are a lot of insects in here, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
many times when you are sieving through your compost, these tiny insects will also fall through, and they will get mixed with your compost, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these insects are very hungry. They like to eat, and they will eat through anything, right? They will
Okay.
also eat through plants if you put them into your soil,
Right.
into your
Right.
flower pot, right? So that is why
Yeah.
you wait. So this is
Mm-hmm.
technically done, right? 2 months, three
Mm-hmm.
months, this is technically done. But you wait. You wait till the insects are completely gone. You wait till it
Okay.
has cooled down a little bit, and then you start adding it to the plant. So maybe in a forest, it's not going to affect the big trees, right? But if you're going to put it in a flower pot inside your home, then because I
Yeah.
have done it and I have ended up killing my plants because it is still warm and it has still got some. It's not done complete. So you have to give it time. Nature takes time. We like instant
Mm-hmm.
results, but nature takes her own
Yeah.
sweet time. But slow
Right.
and
Right.
steady, nature will get the job done.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Understood.
a few things for troubleshooting. Just I
Mm-hmm.
just want you to remember two things. This is a living
Mm-hmm.
living being here. This is an ecosystem right here, and you
Yeah.
just need to make sure that you treat it like a living thing. It needs food, it needs the right nutrients, and it needs to breathe, right? And it needs water.
Right.
Don't drown it because you pour. If it's very wet, then again oxygen will get cut off, right?
Yeah.
So you don't want it to be too wet as well. So make sure,
Mm-hmm.
and this is something that you can try and just experiment with, and you will get the hang of it. It's like being with another individual in the house. Okay?
Yeah. Got it.
So yeah.
Okay.
So any
Understood.
questions?
Yeah, I think what a couple of people who had joined in late, they just wanted to understand the material that you've taken. So the kind of container and what is the green part which we're
Yeah.
putting
So
into
let
it.
me let me
So
just recap this bit a little bit.
sure,
So
sure.
a compost is basically composed primarily of these four elements: carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, and nitrogen. Right?
Yeah.
This is your compost. It's like another living
Okay.
creature, living, breathing human being,
Yeah.
right? And like every living creature, it needs food, water, and air. It needs to
Right.
breathe, right? So the food is basically in our kitchen waste, right? So
Yeah.
your kitchen waste is the food,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Water is also there. The moisture content is there in your food. But the thing
Mhm.
is, these are only completing this portion of your uh, being. So
Yeah.
right now, food and water is coming through your waste.
Mhm.
You need to
Mhm.
balance to complete this guy and give him equal arms. You need to add your
Mhm.
carbon, right? And
Mhm.
carbon is
Mhm.
typically found in things that are brown,
Okay. Yeah.
right? So nitrogen is typically your green stuff,
Mhm.
and you need to add in and you need to make this guy balanced, right? If you have too
Yeah.
much brown material, then it will be very dry, right? If you
Mm-hmm.
have too much of nitrogen content or too much of green material, then it will be very wet and it will smell a
Yeah.
lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this brown actually helps absorb excess moisture and also controls the smell of your compost.
Okay.
So with this background, so your normal waste is what you have at home, your kitchen waste. Brown
Mm-hmm.
is soil, anything. So just think of the things that are brown. Soil, cocoa peat is very good. You can put
Mm-hmm.
dried leaves. Where is that? Yeah. You've got dried leaves. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Brown bags, right? Take the
Mm-hmm.
recyclable variety. Make sure it doesn't have any ink on it. So I bought one bag here that has some ink on it. Just tear off the inky portion and use the non-inky portion.
Okay.
We're all ordering stuff. Maybe you've
Mm-hmm.
got this clean road over here. We all
Mm-hmm.
order stuff from Amazon. Just make sure that plastic is not there, so you can tear it off. Any tapes
Mm-hmm.
that are there, remove that. Make sure there's no ink on it. So just remove the ink portion, printed portion, and then just shred it and use it. And in case you don't have any of this material available, last resort, which avoid it if you can, is you use newspaper. You can use
Okay.
newspaper like I'm doing to just cover it to ensure that it's getting enough air because we need our compost to breathe, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's why we're not covering it very with opaque things. We're not covering it with plastic. We're
Mm.
covering it with say a terracotta lid or with newspaper,
Yeah.
right? But don't try to avoid putting newspaper in unless the ink that is there in the newspaper is something that you can trust. So if
Mm-hmm.
the newspaper or publication that you're using is using eco-friendly inks, go ahead by all means use it.
Okay.
Other types of paper, don't use magazine paper. Don't use anything that's got colored ink on it or that is glossy. Right? Again, ink is the
Mm-hmm.
problem. Paper is not the problem. It's the ink or
But ink is
coating,
the
any
problem.
plastic coating that may be on it. Those are the problems.
Okay.
Paper itself is not the problem.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So, keeping these conditions in mind, you need to select a container which is ideally porous, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like a clay
Mm-hmm.
pot, a flower pot will be good, right?
Yeah.
If you have access to a garden, dig a hole, that is ideal. Nature works that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that it's got some holes on the side. So if you have an old pot, then you can probably just put some holes. A clay pot, even if you don't make holes on the side, just make sure you turn it around because the reason why we have these holes are so that it
Mm-hmm.
breathes, right? It needs oxygen. So every 1 or 2 days, just you can use something like this and just turn it around, right? Any
Okay.
any long stick or branch that you can catch hold of, or you use if you
Mm-hmm.
have a rake, if you're into gardening, then you can just turn it around. Make sure that there is oxygen supply coming to your
Okay.
compost.
Okay.
So
Okay.
basically, yeah, your raw ingredients are your kitchen waste, brown material, and an airy container. If you're using
Okay.
a plastic bucket, make sure there are enough holes and also keep turning around. And because plastic is not porous and because it doesn't absorb moisture, you
Mm-hmm.
probably need to add more of the carbon material in it. Otherwise, it's going to get very
Okay.
salty.
All right. Okay. And could you also once again tell us on the duration that is there? Like how long does it take?
So it depends entirely on what you put in the compost. So for instance,
Okay.
banana peels vanish in just a few days.
Okay.
Coconut that I had just shown here, this has been here for 2 years. Okay, this is
Okay.
degrading really slowly. Some of my coconuts have already degraded. This one is left, right? Some
Okay.
seeds are very hardy, right? Seeds take a really long time to degrade.
Mm-hmm.
So typically it is said 6 to 7 weeks is when it takes for compost to get done to a stage where you can
Mm-hmm.
harvest it. So this is like half done compost, right? Which you can just
Mm-hmm.
put in a seed and
Okay.
harvest. And then after this is done, wait for at least 2 3 months, if not more.
Okay. Well,
Wait
could you like once
because
again repeat, uh, like since you got on the sieving part, like why is that required? Because there was Komal who has joined us. She missed on the part that why do you have to sieve?
so why I have done that is because you will see that different things degrade at a different pace. So this is
Mm-hmm.
like almost done, right? Some other things
Mm-hmm.
are not done. right? So we want to, because also space is a constraint, right? I can't keep putting things in here. I need to churn. I need to create some space in my compost. Otherwise, I'll just keep having 10 containers, right? So ideally, we want to move things around and creating the compost to be used. So things that are
Okay.
already done, like a powdery, you take that out and you separate it, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then what is left, it goes back into your compost, back again
Okay. Got it.
to
Understood.
continue, right? And then
Okay.
once this is done, let
Mm-hmm.
it wait, let this thing sit for 4 months, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
this still is likely to have active microbes
Right.
and you know, insects which are there to eat, right? Everybody is hungry. So these
Mm-hmm.
insects will eat into your compost while it's maturing. They'll continue to digest whatever is left over. So you'll notice that there's actually some stuff that has gone through my sieve, right? That's still here. That's
Mm-hmm.
fine. These are like small pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So these
Mm-hmm.
insects are still there and they're still eating. So they may eat into your plants as well. So don't put
Mm-hmm.
them into your plants for at least 3 or 4 months. Let them sit idle. Keep them
Okay.
separate. Now, what you can also do is if you have too much of compost, this makes
Mm-hmm.
great brown material. So you
This makes
recycle it
great.
back and put it, the brown material that we talked about, you can use this
Mm-hmm.
finished compost as a substitute for the brown material because it's got those microbes also in there.
Okay. Okay.
So once you start the process, you will have the raw, this brown material also to continue your compost.
Understood. Okay. Okay. So in between, you mentioned that when we're taking the plastic container, we require more of a particular thing. So that's like, I think you said more of carbon. So the video
Yeah.
lagged on that time. So if you could, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Because plastic is not porous, right? It's not a natural material. It does. So
Mm-hmm.
terracotta absorbs, is porous. It absorbs moisture, right?
Mm-hmm.
It lets in a little bit air. This doesn't absorb any moisture, so the water will stay, will stagnate inside. And when you have excess of water, that is when it starts smelling. So
Mm-hmm.
whenever you feel that there's extra moisture, add more of this brown material because this is what is going to absorb the moisture,
Okay.
right? This is dry
Okay.
and this is wet. So
Right.
that's why
Okay.
you need to add more of the brown material. Whatever you use, whether
Okay.
you're using cocoa peat or dried leaves or
Okay.
cardboard,
Okay.
shredded cardboard. Make sure you shred the cardboard.
Okay.
Whatever you're using,
Okay.
put more of that. You may,
Great.
and again, there's no fixed quantity. You just have to feel it and sort of go with the flow.
Okay. So preferably we should use like a terracotta uh,
It's
container.
preferable, yes. Ideally, if you can put a hole in the ground, great. But even if you don't, if you
Mm-hmm.
have a terracotta pot, it is ideal.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have one, you can use any large container that you can that
Okay.
you are okay poking holes into.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay. Guys, if you have any more questions, you can send us in. What we'd do is we'd be putting up this video as well as we'll also do a small FAQ. We'll like post them to you that if by any chance you guys come across any questions later, they are already answered to you. So we'll put them in our highlights that you can have a look at. But if you have any questions now, you can let us know and we'd just take them up. Any part
And
you missed, you want us to repeat, so we'll quickly do that.
yeah, and while we're waiting for questions, I really hope you guys take up composting because as we've seen that landfills are really exploding
Hmm.
right now. They're really toxic.
Yeah.
They're emitting a lot of methane that's making our summers really unbearably hot. And also they
Hmm.
react with other inorganic materials and that seeps into the soil and when that soil is used to grow things, things don't grow, it degrades the soil, it smells and we've seen that that smelly thing is actually dangerous for health. So
Yeah.
if you have trash at home that is smelling, then that's actually not good for your health. So
Hmm.
please at least, at the very least, start segregating your waste. And if this process seems too tedious, it's actually just a few minutes during the day that you need to look into this. If for any reason, and I'm not going to judge anybody, if you're not able to do it, what you can do is you can get together as a community and actually take this up as a community project. So you can speak with, say, a local RWA, or you can, 2, 3 neighbors can get together and
Mm-hmm.
get somebody else to do the composting. So you segregate it and, keep somebody else or explain this composting process to them, and they will do the composting on your behalf.
Yeah,
So that can be
got it.
done at a community level. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I don't think we're having any questions at the moment. So you can definitely, probably we'll just do a FAQ like via post or stories, and we can give it to people. Just a last thing, anyone, if you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, we'll end it now. Okay. I think thank you so much, Kasturika. It was
Thank you so
like a,
much.
I mean, it was really informative for me as well. So yeah, so okay, sorry. There's one question that was there. Sorry. What the care during the monsoons, like what we had
Yeah,
spoken earlier as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
during monsoons, moisture content tends to go up, right? Because air is very
Mm-hmm.
humid, rainwater might go inside. So you need to make sure that it doesn't get too wet. So maybe you can cover it, but
Mm-hmm.
if water still seeps inside, just add more of the carbon material to absorb that excess moisture.
Okay,
So
so
the
adding more
key
of the
is to
carbon
make sure.
material. Okay. Okay. I'm saying the adding more of the carbon material is what you're saying is required.
Yes, yes. So basically,
Okay.
you need to restore the dampness. You don't want it to be dripping wet because, like any living creature, too much water, this guy will drown, right? So just
Mm-hmm.
keep the analogy of the living creature in mind. This is your next pet, okay? So
Okay.
give it proper food and balanced diet, let it breathe, and give adequate water without drowning the guy.
Got it. Okay, great. Okay. Thank you so much, Kasturika. It was really good to have you. A very informative
Thank,
session.
thank you so much
And
for
guys, if
having
you
me.
have anything, you guys can drop her a DM and get your issues sorted. Or if you send it to us at Travel Truvel also, we'll pass it on to her and get it out to you. Thank you everyone for joining. It was great. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye.